Every single man will go through a stage in life where they completely lose themselves. They're shut off from the world, no one understands their pain, and it's the rebuild stage. This is where it breaks into two parts. For a year, for 2 years, nothing happens. Survival mode, trying to work everything out, and constantly ruminating and just being through pain. But then comes their moment. Then comes a side to them that has been dying to come out, but has been suppressed for so long through pain. I hate the people that I see on here. 90% of the people that I see in here on this platform is just waffle. It's men that have been to the trenches countless times and back. Men in their 30s, 40s, 50s that have lost everything. They once had everything. Coming from a generation where making money on your phone wasn't easy. We had to go out and do it a certain other way. These are the men that are built different. These are the men that have grown up in different environments, different upbringings. I'm one of them, and I'm 32. Making money from my phone when I was young wasn't a choice. I had to go and make ridiculous decisions. It wasn't until I sort of hit 27, 28 that I start understanding the power of a camera and social media. The trauma, the abuse, the life that I chose to live was painful to go along with the childhood that I also had. I now sit opposite men that are very successful or have generally just hit a point where they can no longer go on and they just want to take their life. You have to allow yourself to be soft. You have to allow yourself to feel them emotions to break. Maybe you're going through divorces, maybe you're going through heartbreak, maybe you're got a family and you're a shell of a man at the moment. And it's quite a serious tone for me tonight. Normally I'm laughing and joking and a bit of humour behind it, but it's been a real wake-up call, the amount of suffering that men go through and the amount of times that they're misunderstood. And we live in this world now where you've got 20-year-old kids talking about discipline and what men should be like. Bottom line, you ain't got a fucking clue. You haven't got an absolute clue. Few drink problems, bit of drugs, making money online, and all of a sudden you go into wealth and you think you're better than the rest of the world. There's real men out there that know the depths of what it's like to lose yourself. The frustration, the heartache, the countless times where you feel alone. You wake up, no one's there. Phone doesn't go off. Tired, exhausted, knowing that you need to work on yourself day in, day out, and you have no idea when that outcome is coming. So many broken men that have to face past demons, that have to face parts of their childhood that they haven't faced yet. And ultimately, they have no idea when there might be that little bit of success, that little bit of hope, that relentless work ethic that they've been putting in. Maybe business is static, maybe they've lost everything. Doubted, always constantly battling their brain. But there never becomes a day where that starts to lift. And I've had that moment very recently where you just get that fire in your stomach. You realise who you are and all of the work that you have ever done on yourself comes into fruition. I went through a stage of comparison like every person does, and it wasn't until I actually started to look at the people that I was looking at, and I would think to myself, you're an idiot, you're a moron, there's no relatability. And then I spoke with my person that I help, that helps me, that coaches me, and the journey that I've been on. And it's been absolutely mental, the life that I've lived. Most of it self-inflicted, other parts of it completely out of my control. Friends have been killed. Family members taken too soon. Marriage went tits up. Finances to zero. Backed myself. Made everything I've ever imagined in my life happen. And I've gained a life, I've lost life. I've gained a life, I've lost a life. I've been homeless. Found God. And been on a relentless pursuit within my business right now. And this is why men need to be able to work on themselves on a daily basis. Not just work on themselves going to the gym physically, but you have to tune in internally. You have to start integrating parts of yourself that you've actually been avoiding. You have to become built different, and you have to solely become reliant on being able to be peaceful on your own. And that comes when every man has his breaking point. I call it the mirror moment, where there's a part of him that just looks at himself dead on in the mirror and realises this is it. And he's probably had thousands of them moments, but he hasn't had the strength to be able to consistently see it through and back up everything that he has either consumed or learnt, because you're still in that survival mode. Don't ever compare yourself to anyone else, because no one else has your story. Don't ever wish for more when you have everything right in front of you that you need right now. A man that can be alone, a man that can have an empty bank, a man that can still wake up in the morning and go and train and go and take care of himself despite no outcome in front of him. I recommend that every single man, or I hope that every single man, goes through a part of that stage in life where they have nothing and they rebuild. And the only way to become relentless, the only way to become someone that belongs in this world, and you feel you belong in this world, is to really find out how powerful you are by what can you come back from. No one is you. No one is meant to be you. You are not meant to be someone else, otherwise it would happen. So if you're a male that's currently struggling at the moment and you're waiting for that moment to come where you're not scared anymore, you have an unbelievable amount of self-belief, courage, strength, and insecurities fade away, and you're confident in who you are as a person and how you look, no matter how you show up and no matter what you've got. Money will not make you confident. Having a physique will not make you confident. All of these idiots on here that talk about that type of thing does not bring confidence. Because I know so many rich people that don't have confidence. I know so many people in shape that don't have confidence. I know so many people that have all of these things that online world is teaching you how to be in order to gain confidence. It is all waffle. Confidence is fully being on your own, alone in your thoughts, knowing who you are from start to finish, your wounds, your childhood, what part of your shadow is holding you back, what do you want from the world, why do you want to give the world that? I used to want huge platforms, and I used to want all of these crazy things because I was led to believe when I started a business that is what success was, but I could not think of anything worse. You know, every single time I do a video, 19, 20 views or whatever it is, I'm so happy that I don't wake up my phone and I've got all of these notifications and I've got all of these views and I've got all of this exposure and I'm put in a prison because of everyone else. Then I'm put in a prison that everyone else dictates. Then I'm put in a state of consistency that I need to be in to show up for people that I don't even know face to face. And I've created a manifestation in the sense of I know how I want my business to be. I know the type of people that I want to work with. And I know that I attract them into my life because I have an unwavering, and why do I keep saying unwavering? I have an incredible amount of belief that in my world, I have my own laws that I abide by. You know that you see online and it's like you have to do this in order to be able to get this and then do this, and then it's rubbish. It's complete rubbish. Why do you want unconditional love and unconditional money but put conditions in place in order to be able to receive it? Doesn't make sense. Don't get sucked into the world teaching you that there's strategies for everything and you have to do these things in order to be able to get to X, Y, and Z, because it's absolute waffle. Go into silence. Go into pure silence where you are not influenced by people online or your surroundings or anything, and really start to sit there and work out who you are, because that is when you start to integrate parts of you that you need to in order to be able to go to that next level. You have to fail millions of times at waking up at a certain time. You have to fail so many times at your routine. You have to get to a point where you've wasted so many days that you actually get to the point where you're just fed up. And then the penny drops. But the more you avoid this work, the more that you avoid actually sitting there and knowing who you are. I have no doubt or worries on who I am, in my ability, and what I deserve from the world, and who I can be with and what I can do. And I had to sit in so much darkness and so many lonely nights and so many uncertain days and so many days where nothing happens, and I'm doing all of the work and I'm doing all of the work and I'm doing all of the work, and nothing in this 3D physical world was showing me anything. And then that moment comes where you think, fuck it. This is my life now. Anyone that hasn't shown up for me, anyone that hasn't been there for me, anyone that I've given everything I could possibly ever give to these people, for what? Because I had a sense of needing to be loved, to people please, to keep other people happy apart from myself. Pathetic. Because I avoided looking at my childhood. I avoided looking at the parts of me of why I was doing that, always looking for shortcuts to avoid, and then coming unstuck, always looking after people to a ridiculous level where I left myself in so many painful, sleepless nights, misunderstood, judged. For what? Wake up call. Stop looking at everyone else. You're the answer. You've consumed enough. It's time to get to work. Big love.